A pill that cost $13.50 on a Monday costs $750 by Tuesday. Same pill, same factory, same ingredients. 4,000% more expensive overnight. That's not a typo, that's Martin Shkreli. In August 2015, a small company called Pharmaceuticals paid $55 million to acquire a drug called Daraprim. Daraprim had been around since 1953. It treats a parasitic infection called toxoplasmosis, a condition that's manageable for healthy people but deadly for anyone with a compromised immune system. We're talking HIV patients, cancer patients, transplant recipients, people who absolutely cannot skip a dose. This drug wasn't controversial, it wasn't experimental, it was essential, and it was cheap. $13.50 per tablet. Hospitals stocked it, doctors prescribed it without hesitation. Patients could afford it. Then Turing bought it, and everything changed. Martin Shkreli was 32 years old. He'd already built a reputation as a hedge fund guy who played rough. He saw Daraprim the same way he'd see any asset, as something to squeeze for maximum return. The moment Turing completed the acquisition, Shkreli raised the price to $750 per tablet. Just like that. No warning, no new research, no improved formula. The drug was identical. The price was 55 times higher. Here's what that means in real life. A patient with toxoplasmosis might need the drug for weeks. A full course of treatment that used to cost around $1,000 now cost over $75,000. Some patients needed it indefinitely. The bills were catastrophic. Hospitals started rationing. Pharmacies ran out. Infectious disease doctors were calling Turing, begging for access. Nearly 40% of patients reported they couldn't get the medication they needed. People with HIV, already fighting for their lives, were now fighting their pharmacy bill too. The medical community erupted. The Infectious Diseases Society of America called it deeply concerning. Public Citizen called it price gouging in its most blatant form. The American Medical Association, patient advocates, hospital systems, everyone was furious. And Shkreli's response? He went on television and said the price increase was still not enough. He said Turing was actually being generous. He smirked. He called critics uninformed. He live-streamed himself playing video games and dismissed the outrage like it was background noise. Then Congress got involved. Lawmakers hauled Shkreli in front of a House committee. Cameras everywhere, the whole country watching. Shkreli sat down, looked at the committee, and invoked the Fifth Amendment. He refused to answer a single question about his pricing strategy. Then he walked out, got on Twitter, and called the congressmen imbeciles. The arrogance was breathtaking. But here's where this story takes a turn most people don't know about. The Daraprim price hike was outrageous, but it wasn't actually what took Shkreli down. While all of this was happening, federal investigators had been quietly building a separate case. In December 2015, just 3 months after the price hike made him famous, Shkreli was arrested. Not for the drug pricing, for securities fraud. He'd been running what prosecutors described as a Ponzi-like scheme at his previous hedge fund, lying to investors, misappropriating funds, covering losses with money from a different company he controlled. Classic financial fraud. In 2017, he was convicted on 3 counts of securities fraud and conspiracy. The judge sentenced him to 7 years in federal prison. He also had to forfeit over $7 million in assets, including his one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan album, which the government seized and eventually sold. The man who made millions gouging dying patients lost everything to a completely separate con he'd been running for years. As for Daraprim, the price stayed elevated for years. Turing rebranded itself. The drug is still expensive in the United States compared to other countries where the same pill costs pennies. The system that allowed one man to buy a 60-year-old life-saving drug and charge whatever he wanted, that system is still in place. Shkreli became the face of pharmaceutical greed, but he was never the only one doing it. He was just the one who smiled about it on camera. The real scandal isn't Martin Shkreli, it's that the law let him do it in the first place. Follow this channel, because the next Shkreli is already out there and they're a lot better at hiding.